Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to East versus West.
Welcome everybody to another Sunday Casual with me, Dexter. Oh man, losing my voice a little bit. I literally just got home about half an hour ago. Oh, it was terrible. The flight from Atlantic City was we were stuck on the tarmac for like 2 hours plus. It's terrible, but finally got home after a layover. But yeah, hey, what's up, everybody? A whole bunch of great guys. It was everybody thought the card was subpar. Everybody said, "Oh, it's so predictable," and it was absolutely nuts, absolutely nuts. So, oh wow, okay, well, we're jumping straight into questions. So I'm losing my voice a little bit. On average, I've been getting about less than 3 hours of sleep for the past few days, but oh yeah. Devin versus Vitali. No, no. There was a lot of rumors going around, but I think it was like Friday. Vitali sent a personal video I saw that reaffirmed his commitment. Apologize, I don't know. I've been having these hiccups for like 2, 3 days straight. But yeah, yeah. Benji also had his flight canceled. He's also stuck. Let's see. There was absolutely nuts. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. This guy. I am with Adam Mata 6236. My favorite moment is Jerry's King move. Sorry. That's not my favorite. Mine was it was when he transitioned into the floor press on the third round. I literally lost it. I jumped out. I'm like, I can't believe that happened, and that was mind blowing because it felt like this was a fight for who's the king of floor press, and he was able to turn the whole thing around because he was down 2-0, and he was able to come back, right? And so it felt like the momentum shifted a little bit. So that was I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's here, it's here. The flop press, the real flop press king is here, right? So though it didn't end up in Jerry's favor, but overall I thought, right, it was a it was so good. It was so good. I mean, Camille did an excellent job as well. So kudos that he still won. But I mean, Jerry won the hearts of many. So I would say this is exactly why we we do what we do as promoters. We give the absolutely best entertainment, and some there can only be one winner, right? So there will be a loser, but this is what we strive for, to provide the best matches for the best entertainment. So let me share my comments so it's easier. Let's see. I'm gonna read some questions here. No, sorry. So Nia Era is asking. I thought once it goes to strap, every match is strap afterwards. No, the minimum cap is ref script. So once you go to ref script once, it's ref script the rest, not straps. Next question, weird cat eating. Dexter, please let Svetkov versus Hermes happen. It's a great matchup. A lot of people want to see. His hand control over Michael thought was incredible. Yeah, I mean, you could see he came in with a game plan, right? Georgi came in with a game plan. He came in and he climbed and he climbed and he climbed, and that was the way. But he fell short a little bit, but you knew that he was literally doing his best. He had a good game plan. It was a solid game plan, but Michael was the victor ultimately. So, but he did spend a lot of time. Everybody thought that it was going to be an easy match, had no clue what Georgi was putting in. Internally, we tried to push that narrative because we knew that Georgi was studying, Michael's last match against Vitali intently, trying to see what he can learn. But, ultimately he failed, but he did put in a lot of effort, and we knew that there was actually a chance, a chance a lot better than what people would have thought. So, but congratulations, Michael. That was a pretty good match. Okay, so this one, New Era Landscaping, they were all talking about round 4. Now, obviously, as a promoter, the ultimate best match would be, when it's close battle and, it doesn't end in 3-0 or 4-0, right? It's you want to be 4-3, 3-2. But obviously, that being said, we will never go into a point where we will manipulate, the refs, or we'll go in and change the rules, whatever, or just do something unethical like that. We'll never do that. So I was really hoping that there was a protest or anything going on, but but after the whole thing, I had a check, right, with the refs and everything. It wasn't this, I was told. It was pretty deep. It was way deep, but it happened so quickly that the camera's angles did not catch it. But yeah, oh, the the refs all agreed that it was not an oversight. It was not an error. Uh, so it was a pin. It was just the angles. But that being said, um, it was still a good match. I think it was third round was round of the year. Round of the year. In 2015, no, sorry, 2024 in EVW 15, my favorite was Yoshi's match. Why do majority of the pullers don't have to pull? Uh, well, so some of them really gave their everything, right? Some of them gave their everything, so they were completely gassed out. But we still had a lot who had some left in the gas tank, and they did in the after polls, which we will release soon. I mean, a couple of weeks. Our first priority are the main matches first, right? So there's that. Something to do with also the highs and lows, because they were in the high, and then once that match is over, they come back to the low, and then now you're trying to bring them back to the high. So some of them were in that mode, and they just don't want to stress out anymore. We never forced them, but we did have some planning on you know uh, some of the after pulls, which you will see if you actually purchased it. Another comment: I was surprised by Schoolboy. He's been in the game for so long, and he's not that good. Hard to say. This one's a little. I don't know if he's not that good. I just think Rickert is very good. Rick, I mean, Rickard Borman is very good. So it's not Schoolboy's not good. I think his opponent was better on the right, at least. We kind of knew it a little bit that Rickard's left is not as good as his. I'm sorry, Rickard's left is nowhere good, close to his right. But it was just also a test to see, if there's any potential as well. So, oh, this one, I think this one is very talked about. Bogdan, many people kind of underestimated him. Jordan Sonev, yeah, that's also another massive upset. There were a couple of big upsets. If you haven't watched the pay-per-view, it's still not too late, because I'm telling you, you guys missed out an amazing, amazing, amazing match. It was, I don't know, from a match standpoint, this was absolutely awesome. Um, well, we could go through what I think my thoughts are on the matches. So let me pull up the list. So I'll go in ascending order. So Duvan Borman and Curtis Cameron. Okay, let's talk about this one for a second. Initially, our goal was to monitor and just watch all the the finalists from the tournaments the day before, we had a lot of pretty good guys there. And then as they were playing around, we thought, hey, what if, I mean, Pork Chop is, an EVW athlete, right? Curtis Cameron. And Duvon's kind of like a rising star too. So, but they were in both in a different weight category. So, and we had a discussion with the organizer, James Reed, and we also spoke with their, Duvon and Curtis opponent in the finalists. And they all felt like this match would make a lot more sense than them one or the other pulling, because we were torn because Curtis would and Duvon, they were just dominating the weight class, like they were just like smashing all their opponents super fast. So so we kind of mix and match, but I think we might be doing this more and more in the future, where we'll kind of, you know if you want to have a chance to be on the main stage, you should come to our tournament. I think we might do this more and more because we will find gems like these, right? We'll find gems. Now, even though Duvon lost, but you could tell, like, he's an insanely strong guy for 17 years old. Like, he's absolutely absolutely nuts, right? And then we have Anna and Jocelyn. I think, congratulations, Jocelyn. She did really really well. I mean, she showed big dominance, and but the one thing though, I'm not defending Anna or anything, but looking back, I think we made one error, was to allow Anna to work and also compete. So I don't know if it will change the score whatsoever, but Anna was a little bit, you know drained from working for us, you know. So there's that. But once again, congratulations, Jocelyn. Then the next one, we had Mayan and Jason Merlo, right? And Jason won the first round. It was like, ooh, all right, we got a match. And true enough, we did. Mayan ultimately came out as the victor, but when we were watching things, because Jason was just coming out of a massive win, right? So we knew it was going to be some level of war, which he did. So congratulations, Mayan, to that one. Richard Borman and Schoolboy on the left. It was quite clear that Schoolboy was superior in the left arm. So that one was pretty straightforward. Rickard just hasn't trained his left near to the level of his right. So that's that. But I mean, look at the next match. Ayane Takenaka and Victoria Carlson. That was very, it was very good. There were a couple of holes from Victoria, but ultimately Ayane, she's like a firecracker, right? The whole week, she was walking around, in this resort, she didn't really speak very much English, but she was always around. She never left, like, say, after breakfast, and then 2 hours later, we were at a press conference. She would just be hanging out near the press conference area for 2 hours because she didn't know if she could leave, I think. And such a, nice person. And so she's just always around. Uh, but when she was on stage, she was just like mind blowing. So, yeah, I mean, she'll get another invite back. I noticed that, we might have to consider opening up that weight class a little bit more. Um, Maybe a world title match, 60 kilograms left. Who knows? We'll see. And then, arguably, the biggest upset for the whole night, based on pundits, is Paul and Bogdan. I mean, that was when I was looking at, like, I think the gambling channels from the Russian sites. If you put $100 on Paul Lynn, and you were right, you get $116 back. You put like $1 on Bogdan, and you get like $4.50 back, right? The odds were massively stacked on Paul Lynn's side, and ultimately it was a 3-0. And it's another one of those where the public general perception may not have the true insights of the quality of some of the this kind of matchmaking, right? Very few, like obviously there were people who in the community really knows the power of Bogdan. He knows that he has a real good shot with Paulin. So what I'm saying ultimately is that this was like it, it, it was very unexpected. So congratulations Bogdan. Paulin did pretty well. We'll see both of them on the EVW main stage for sure. Tobias and Georgi Zorinov is the next one. Totally unexpected. Georgi was also favored to win, but it was pretty close. I mean, the pundits didn't have a very big gap, unlike Paulin and Bogdan, but still Georgi Zorinov was I was favored to win, but ultimately Tobias came in a lot faster, stronger. So that's another upset again. Jordan Sonav and Evgeny Prudik, another upset, another upset. Right? There's so many upsets. I, I I think this card is amazing. This card's amazing. So congratulations to Jordan, Mindaugas, and Daniel Prokopchuk. At one point, I thought it was kind of shaky, but ultimately Mindy was superior. And here's one interesting information about Mindaugas that most don't know. When he arrived, I think like on Tuesday or Wednesday, I think Tuesday, Wednesday, he was struggling. He was having the cold, I think, and then he had stomach issues. He couldn't digest a little bit, and he was just struggling the whole time. But as a professional, he never complained to anybody, other than, "Hey, Robert, hey, Dexter, do you have something for my stomach? Whatever." Right? But nothing like, "Oh man, I'm just like whining, complaining," and this is one thing that is kind of mind blowing. Is athletes who try to save face in case they lose. They make excuses before the match, right? I mean, you'll never see, like Robert was telling me, you'll never see someone like say John Berzing, making excuses, prior to a match, right? So Mindaugas was, I'd say, kudos to him. He fought through an illness. By then we don't cancel his event, right? But he still pushed on, and ultimately he came out the victor. Right arm on Schoolboy, yeah, and Rickard, that was, in my opinion, was a pretty good match. But you could tell Rickard was superior on the right arm. And then I don't have to mention anything about Jerry and Camille. It's probably my, I mean the third round was my favorite round of the year. It was just awesome. And I already talked about Michael Todd and Georgi Svetkov. So congratulations to all the winners, and we do have all the losers, but I hope they all understand that this is not the end of the road for any of them. It's not the end of the road. Everybody did an amazing. They came well trained, well prepared. Nobody came on, with any half effort. So I'm glad that this match was amazing. So that was that. Okay, now I'm back to reading my channel. Yep, Duvon's making big waves. It's absolutely nuts. I love it. Yeah, I mean, for storyline writing, it'd be cool if Duvon would have won. And you can say the Rickard brothers won the weekend, right? The South Africans dominated East versus West. But you know what? Pork Chop deserved the win. He, I mean, he made a lot of excuses, but they were all founded. Like literally, he drove 8 hours straight to go compete the night before on Friday, and his weight class was one of the more difficult ones. And his his semifinal match was a long drawn out, and he had to press through a King's mover. So it took a lot out of him, and you know, and technically, I think he's on a 10 kilogram weight class lighter than Duval. So pork chop, I mean, congratulations, you did really well. So that there is no taking away the win, just because we want a nicer head, some storyline, but Porkchop did deserve. He was superior. He was superior. It's a really incredible match. It's an incredible match. So Jeremy, I really like the short clips of Ray interviewing people. The pacing and conciseness felt right. Thank you. I'll be sure to let him know. Camera angles. Okay, I think you're talking about the fourth match. Um, we will. I'll see what I can dig up to kind of appease people, but yeah, ultimately we have to trust the refs, and the refs all knew that it flashed so fast that it did happen. Sometimes people are faster than the camera. So there's that. Schoolboy beating Devon on left in the after pull was super impressive. Hey, you start. There's no after pull. It's called extended pulls. It's a new name I coined. It's just a more structured way of doing things. Let's see. Schoolboy is really good. Rickert is just a phenom. That's right. Schoolboy is probably in the top 10 on the left. That's a interesting way to put it. Are we happy with the East of West 21 pay-per-view sales? I think there's room for improvement. Initially, no, but I think word got around how awesome the event was. Then after the event, we call it VOD sales, was pretty damn good. A lot better than normal. So ultimately, it could be better, but nobody expected how good the event the matches were. So yeah, I'm not sure this is Randy or Brian or Rand. Yeah, or Ryan. But yeah, met a couple 98 guys. Super cool, super fun. This guy, oh my goodness. So GBGP6XQ is talking about Morozov will be 100% pass sell versus Devon. Okay, well, this I knew this would come up, and this is something that is managerial standpoint. We are taking this really seriously. We do not want an athlete to just do this for a paycheck without any passion. Now, obviously, everybody needs to get fed, right? They need to put food on the table, and I get it. I get it. People ultimately they can have passion, but they still need to eat. I get it. We get it. But you don't do it without having without giving your absolute best, right? This is not acceptable, right? We are doing an investigation now to see if the translation is correct, to see if that exactly what we think Morozov said is what he did say, because right now it's transcripted and and everything's changed from to translated English. There could be mistranslation, but if he actually did say what he did say, right, which is, well, I'm actually still injured. I'm not very strong. I'm not very strong, but I'll just do it because I need the money. Well, guess what? Nobody's gonna buy pay-per-view if they think you're not gonna win. So we're gonna set an example to every athlete out there that you will not be invited back to pull, right? If all you're doing is just showing up, ill prepared, not being in the an appropriate form, and just to collect a paycheck. So we're doing an investigation. If that's what it is, if we are truly understood his meaning and it was exactly that, very likely he'll be not, well, his invite will be rescinded. So this is, yeah. So there's that. Yeah, weird cat eating also mentioned. Yeah, Morozov's stupid comments. Absolutely stupid comments. Again, you don't see people like like even Devin, right? He could be puking his guts out, but he'll never let people know that he's not in his best form. Nobody want to hear people giving pre-excuses in case they lose, so they save face. I don't want to hear that. As a promoter, I don't want to hear that. This is this is the dumbest thing. So, dumbest thing. The tournament was not the quality that EVW should have for a tournament attached to it. So to be fair, there is a reason for the live streams. We are not. We usually, as I mentioned, we subcontract out the tournaments component, which is why unless it's a higher level stream, it will not be on our main channel. That's what it is. Now, yeah. Now, when you talk about high quality, talking about the streaming and the broadcast, it takes our main team is working around the clock to focus on the pay-per-view stream, right? So that's our higher priority than the tournament. So because of that, right now there isn't enough manpower to go around to have two great quality stream setups. So there's that. Try holding your breath to stop hiccuping. I tried. I've been hiccuping for 3 days straight. I was just happy I didn't hiccup on stage last night, so that was pretty funny. YouTube guy 5941. Hey Dexter, I'm the guy who introduced myself to you in the middle of the event in AC, and I told you I watch your Sunday night stream. I want to say hi. Thanks, bro. Yeah, I actually met a whole bunch of super nice people who came up and told me to watch the stream, and yeah, I think you guys really, really killed it. Really, really killed it, making my day big time. Oh, it is Adam Silver. Uh, Adam Silver was, well, thanks, Adam. He helped us with our live stream yesterday. We did all, either, okay, to be fair, right, to be fair, we did have one hiccup. Well, not this physical hiccup, but it's the face of one of the matches did not match. We admit we made an error there, but it was because we had a last minute change in the order of matches, and so the way that it's tied in, we had like 3-4 minutes to switch things, and it was incorrect. So, and our main guy who programs everything is our director of photography, Aaron, and he's on stage holding the gimbal camera. So unfortunately, he's not able to drop everything and come and swap out the pictures. So, I mean, if that was the only thing for that night, I think it's, obviously we'll strive for perfection, but bar, lucky stream didn't drop, audio was great, it was decent. So hopefully, you guys can forgive me for making that small slight mistake. So, all right, next question. Solo Cristo Salva 3. I don't understand why no East versus West in Canada in foreseeable future. Camille, Hermes, Kodecha, Tobias, Yogi can all enter USA. Plus, you have Devin, Matt, Michael Todd, Dave, Pablo. Uh, uh, I mean, we really wanted to go to Canada. We've talked about it for many times, but getting a visa to Canada is more difficult than getting a visa to USA. All the athletes who are able to enter the United States with a US visa, that visa does not translate to an entry to Canada. So just because you have a visa to America doesn't mean you can enter Canada with it. It's easier, but I don't believe so. So, and yeah, and the process for Canadian visa is a lot more challenging. Yeah, that's right. Here it is. A lot more challenging. Soon. Someday we'll do it. Let's see. Adam, you're nothing. it's it's a joke. Adam always wears a shirt that says you're nothing. Let's see. Yeah, Randy got sick and tried giving it to me. Okay. Yeah, so there's literally, oh, so this must be Randy then. We have a lot of people that was just sick. We had multiple athletes that was getting sick. We had multiple attendees like Randy himself. They were getting sick. There was something going around, some bug going around. I mean, Tobias sent a message this morning warning everybody not to eat the pasta at the hotel because it was getting people sick. Now, I don't know if it's the pasta because I also ate it, but I didn't get sick. So I just think it's some virus that's going around, and everybody's gripping up, everybody's like arm wrestling, and all the bodily sweat fluid is being transferred. So there's that. Oh, Diabolical Billy is back on. Uh, yeah. So from what I heard, Daniel was not in good condition for his match and was not peak. Mm, well, I don't know about peaking, but I mean, Mindaugas was also not. Yeah, he wasn't in this bad shape, but ultimately, I think both athletes did have a good showing. That's what I'll say. They did have a good showing, and I think that matters a lot to me. Martin Brunet, super chat. Mayan versus Coach Ray or Vresh on the left would be cool. Ooh, Mayan and Vresh. We'll think about it. Mayan is so strong though. He is so underratedly strong, and I'm glad people finally got to see how good he is. Dexter Fix make the tournament attached to EVW more organized and high quality next year. Understood. Okay, that is something I have to make note that anything that's attached to us has to be higher. Uh, I have to go back. I was just going in and out. I wasn't paying too much attention to the tournament. I thought it was just like a tournament like everyone is doing. I didn't see any difference in or something that stood out to me. But so I'll have to go back to check out the stream, like to see what you're talking about. So Autumn was a fun addition to the commentary team. Yeah, I mean, I sat down to talk to Autumn quite a bit, and that guy knows his stuff. I mean, he is how many? I think. Well, how old is Autumn? Like 21. How many 21-year-old guy is living and breathing arm wrestling all day long, 24/7? Right? He's doing nothing. This is full time gig. He's, you know, he, so I had been in conversations where he and Devin would be going at it and like having a very deep technical debate on who's going to win and why. I mean, so he knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. And I just thought, I was just sitting there. I'm like, okay, well, let's see if we can get Auden in just to test him out. And I've tested him out before in the past just to see how, everything would go with him. And you could tell that he knows. I might bring him on a little bit more because, and I thought this was pretty fun because uh, very rare Devin isn't polling and he'll be commentating, and this would be a great opportunity. There were a couple of times where, oh, actually, just once that Devin and Auden was co-commentary, so that was pretty fun. Yes, I am under the weather. I mean, the past few days it was just 2.5 hours sleep time, and I literally just landed back from the airport. That's why I didn't even get to set up my streaming setup there because I brought all the cameras with us. So yeah, so I'm a little under the weather, but I gotta be consistent, right? I gotta be consistent. I'm sure you guys have lots of questions, so there's that. Next up, I don't know why, but my feed kept freezing like every 3 seconds. I tried Wi-Fi and using data. I tried lowering quality as well. I don't know. I didn't really see many people complaining, so I really don't know. But I really hope that it's isolated to just your stream. Monster Michael Todd, Levon, please, fans of Michael Todd will love it. The haters of him will buy it to watch him lose. We all win. Let's circle internally. We Robert and we are talking about trying to make this happen. If we make this happen, we got to coordinate with Michael, and we want it done in Arkansas. I think we'll get half the state to show up to support one of the uh, state honorary guys. I think he has a star on some sidewalk or something. Michael does. So I know he's a pretty big shot in Arkansas himself. So if anything, I think it would be insanely cool to have it done in Michael's backyard. But you know, we'll that there's a lot more that goes on beyond that because Levon doesn't pull very often, so we have to coordinate with him as well. Have the free matches improved pay-per-view sales, or is that not something noticeable? It's honestly, I haven't really paid too much attention to pay-per-view sales. I haven't done any analysis yet. I literally just got home because I'm flying to Asia tomorrow, and that's why I normally stay like till Sunday evening or Monday or sometime on Monday. But this time was like a few hours after the event, right? Clean up, packed up, did a whole bunch of sort of work and meetings, and then I slept for 2 hours and I ran straight to the airport. So I'm still not quite straight yet. Is Dexter drinking with these hiccups? Get it together. I'm struggling with this hiccup for a long time. Um, Again, sorry, I haven't seen all the pay-per-view numbers yet. I mean, knowing the numbers now or knowing the numbers tomorrow is not going to change the sales. The trajectory is not going to change. Ultimately, I think our team did a phenomenal job. Not perfect yet. We still have room to grow. We understand that, but we did our best. We tried really hard. Everybody had very little sleep. We introduced two new components, right? The YouTube prelims, and we also introduced the extended polls. So when we introduced a few new things, and so we are learning and growing together. So yeah, that's kind of our focus. It's operationally, let's go as smooth as possible. I'm not worried about the sales right now. I'm gonna focus on doing the best, and eventually people will recognize that you're putting a really high quality production, and things will be better. Now, if you guys have any comments, any suggestions how to be better, put it down. I'll read it because I want to see where can we improve. Now, obviously, the one graphic error from the face didn't match the name for Prutnik's match. Totally get it. Anything else, let me know. Subdoc says, hey, Morozov, the drive to compete is not as important as the drive to win. Yes, that's correct. Every athlete should come in with the drive to win, not just the drive to show up. Jeremy says, headed to the airport to pick up the Borman brothers and head to the Monster Fact. Should be a great time. Yes, that's right. Both brothers are heading to meet up with Michael Todd to train with them over the Christmas break. So, I think they have lots to learn from Michael. Very excited to see their trajectory. So, very happy to see that. Well, so the way that we do things, it's that like everybody uses OBS or whatever. We use a paid program called vMix, which is even more complicated, but that is required to do what we do. And instead of, because we have so many matches and everything, it doesn't make sense to have, in a way, you don't have a full picture with the name and the profile pictures and everything all as one. The way we do it is we set the template up, and then we'll identify these two sections, which should be pictures of the athletes, and it goes into a database. So what happened was when we switched the order of the card last minute, that one picture, that order was not fixed. So when they went down the list, it's almost like, think of it like an Excel spreadsheet. That one column was not updated. That's why they pulled in the wrong picture. So, and again, was there any stats that was wrong? I wasn't paying attention, or was it just the pictures that was wrong? So, yeah, you're right. It was very unprofessional, very, very disappointing. Yeah, Benji's live stream is getting pretty big. Genuine question: why not announce dates and locations more in advance? I would love to go to all, but I need to take work off of it. I did. I did. The only thing it's not hyper confirmed. You guys want to hear the dates again? Uh, you know what? It's on my phone. We had this discussion yesterday. The dates for 2026. Once again. Now, obviously, it's subject to change. It's subject to change. We are looking at February 28th, Vienna. That's pretty much a lock. And then we have very likely as well, high degree of likelihood, Cologne, Germany, April 18th. And then we have May. Oh, sorry, man. This hiccup's just driving me nuts. May 30th would be. I'm trying to think. We don't have okay, so the reason why I'm hesitant to tell you the exact venue is because we are still negotiating with, say, the local team there, right? And the local team may present us with like a proposal, like, hey, we'll take care of your hotel rooms or we'll take care of the venue. If well, right, yeah. But if we announced it ahead before we actually signed the agreement, we lose the leverage to get the initial proposal. Right now, instead of the venue and hotel, this is, oh, you know what, you've already announced my location. I'm just going to give you the venue, no hotel rooms, right? Then, but we've already made the announcement, so we can't even confirm that. So because of that, I cannot confirm all the dates just quite yet, the locations. But we are looking at about May 30th. It's might be somewhere in America, and then it will be around, next will be July. The next one will be July 4/11. This one might be somewhere in Europe, and then we have another one. Sorry, another one that would be about the end of August, Europe. Then it'll be in between that and in November. It'll be one in America, because the one in November would be Switzerland, and mid-December again. So that's kind of where we are at. I cannot confirm the later dates as much, but at the very least, you can plan on the next two, which is February 28th and April 18th. Yeah, sorry, I'm reading a little behind, but it's like, yeah, telling people I'm not gonna work too much, but I need the cash. I'm not gonna push myself too hard. That's terrible. That's terrible. Michael thought said he had hiccups for 3 days straight, got little sleep too, said it was due to something he had to take. Ooh. Yeah. Don't pay Morozov and give that money to Ione and Yoshi. They want to compete and will never make excuses. Yeah. We'll see of those guys a little bit more. Question about what happened to Chael Sonnen collab. Will he be at another event? Potentially. I think this time there wasn't enough time to plan on things. He wanted to jump straight into commentating. I think anything we do with him, it needs to go a little bit slower, where it allows us to kind of train him a little bit in arm wrestling before he jumps into any sort of commentating position, right? So, but he was busy. I mean, like, his schedule was so packed with other commitments with UFC that he didn't have time to do any sort of training or collab. Because we were even considering having Devin fly down and meet him in Oregon to train him and hang out and spend time just showing him what arm wrestling is about. But unfortunately, he couldn't make time for that. So we just told him we'll table it for another time. Would love to run EVW tournament if you ever have one in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Yeah. When the time comes, we'll definitely start making the announcement, and you'll know when we're going to Canada. What's the date for EV22? February 28th. February 28th. Vienna. I already seen pictures. Hold on, maybe let me see if there's pictures that I can share with you guys about the venue in Vienna. Woo! Shoot, I can't see the pictures. Well, anyway, you gotta trust me on that. It's an arena style, so we got an arena style, like sort of theater style seatings. Oh, beautiful! It's going to be super beautiful. It'll be a pretty big. It's going to be a little bit bigger hall because we know that. I mean, Levon is pulling Vitaly, so we know it's going to be a full house. Please do not uninvite Morozov. That match is awesome, and the YouTube back and forth banter is no. If he truly now, this I have to agree disagree. If he truly had no intentions of winning in a meaningful manner, or he knows that he's not in any shape or form capable of competing with Devin, all these banters ain't gonna do anything, right? I mean, you can banter all day long, but if this guy does not, he's not in a shape to be competing at a very high level. I don't want I don't want to put on a show where it's fake, right? Flat. Devin flash pins him 4 times flat. Who wants to see that? Nobody's gonna pay good money. You know, it's almost like unethically lying to the fans if I set that up. If again, that is a caveat. If that's what truly Morozov is implying, that he's only doing this for the money, and he knows he has no chance of winning. It's one thing to just say it, just to protect yourself in case you lose, then you kind of save some face, right? Like, oh yeah, I'm sick, or like whatever. But this is a next level of admitting that you're just doing this for the money. So, oh, Adam is saying we thought the sickness came from the Italian restaurant. Not sure if it's our pizza from there. I have a stomach of iron. Yeah, see, I think many people ate the same pizza and nobody had problems. I think it's something already inside them. Milo thinks it was a chicken that was bad from what he could figure out. He was trying to. I think everybody got it wrong. I think it's just another kind of virus. It's nothing to do with the food because everybody ate food everywhere, I think. Thank you, IFP, for helping the athletes with IV fluids. Yes. So I think, honestly, though, we could have been in a much bigger disaster if Infinity Functional Performance wasn't there. Check this out. I don't know if you can see that. Got some IVs. And maybe that's why I was able to power through a little bit. Gave me a whole bunch of vitamin Bs, glutathiones, right? All the good stuff. They call it banana bag. And I think that kept me kept me going with so little sleep. So I'm just happy that IFP was there to give even those who were extremely dehydrated, due to all the purging or whatever. So yeah, it's good to have IFP as one of the main. Well, for this event, they're the main sponsors. So let's see what Diabolical Billy has. Neil Pickup decided to mock Barney the dinosaur and turn himself into a purple liberates all gay and sparkles. Neil Pickup. Yeah. I mean, Neil's suit got some traction on Reddit. People are asking where people could buy Neil's purple suit. I just thought it was pretty nice, right? Because I mean, Ray wore his was it burgundy suit? Yeah, so I think it was pretty good. Travis really nailed it this weekend. His commentary was terrible and uninterested. Oh, nailed it. I think you meant mauled it. Okay, interesting. I thought it was nailed it, but I think Travis is a very polarizing commentator, honestly, because yeah, like don't get me wrong, I hear from every side. There are some people who really love him, and there are some people who think that he's not very good because he's very polarizing. But then again, a lot of very top-notch commentators in the world, or any human being, sometimes they're very polarizing. Look at Devin; he has a whole bunch of haters too, but he has also a bunch of fans. So it's normal to kind of, for me stepping outside, I could see many different angles, and people do have sometimes very strong opinion one way or the other about certain commentators and athletes in this case Travis. Another person saying Auden is surprisingly well, yeah, intellectually, so he's smart than actual pulling. Yeah, yeah, Auden's definitely not nowhere close to the top 20 in EVW standard just quite yet, but he's a young kid. I mean, where were you at 21? Were you even close to Auden's strength at 21? So so as long as I think everybody who knows Auden like face to face, you've interacted with him, he's such a wonderful kid, a pleasant guy, and he loves nothing but arm wrestling. Like he genuinely loves arm wrestling. Like it's his whole life, and he'll do anything for it. So he'll do great things, and he has such a big future ahead of him that I'm really not worried, and I'm not stressed to trying to push him to do something that he's not ready for. So at this time, I think maybe some level of commentary would be pretty helpful. Okay, so here's another suggestion. Let me read it. Emmanuel Plaza 284. Hi Dexter. About the pay-per-view great event and matches, how would you improve the main stage scenario, like make it more special for the athletes and audience? I know. So we tested this. You know how we used to have this the back. Right now you see a banner. In the past it was LED walls, but we took that off because what they call infinity effect, where it's like a mirror into the camera, into the mirror and camera, right? So it feels the infinity effect. So we tried to avoid that, and it was, nobody complained about it during Colorado. So we thought, okay, well, let's just continue doing that. But the one thing that we will definitely change is that no matter what, the backdrops will not have faces anymore because it messes with the focus of the camera, right? So most cameras are manual focus, but we have like Aaron, all the roaming camera. We have two roaming cameras. It kind of messes up because the roaming cameras, the way that they function is autofocus, and with faces and the backgrounds and everything, sometimes that autofocus is just going nuts. So there is that we have to learn. Staging wise, I mean, we always like coal sparks. I always like laser lights, but those uh, we could not bring coal sparks in hotel policy. So there's that. But other than that, I mean, the next level to sort of improve the staging, we could make the staging a little bit bigger. Now, one thing I might change, I'm going to test this. I might want to do, uh, depending on the layout, if it works, I want to put the stage maybe in the middle of a room. If we ever have to do it in the ballroom or anything, I'm going to try to put the stage in the middle of the room. I'm just going to test it out one time and have like sort of a 360, well, not 360, maybe like 270 surrounding vibe. We'll see. The tournament had beat up all plywood bases. Tables didn't match, and one was not a regulation table. The banner kept falling over. The announcer was cursing and yelling. Okay. Well, I'll go back and take a look at that. But good to know. Adamantium Arm Wrestling says Arkansas, biggest flathead catfish, lots of swampland cottonmouths, and the monsters. Can go fishing. Isn't Jason Morlow a big fisherman? Someone was asking, maybe he gained all his forearm strength from fishing. I didn't buy somebody commented, I didn't buy the season pass because I plan to buy each pay-per-view individually because I'm bad with money. Well, I mean, if you're bad with money, then you should buy it ahead of time so the money's locked up and you don't have to worry for the rest of the year and save money. Matter of fact, I think you've probably save more money than you taking the money and putting it in the bank and earning the interest to pay for all 8 events. So you think about it, you're actually saving money by buying the annual season pass. And again, to clarify, the season pass right now, that the event's over, I may consider, I probably will reduce the price, because this time we did it was you paid for 7 events and you got 9 events. I might drop it down a little bit so that it doesn't feel too bad, but I still want to make sure that people who bought it uh, and got all 9 events are not going to be left in the dust, because they will still have the best prices. Now, I know some people ask, what about what about including extended pass upgrade for all season pass holder? That's something I'm seriously considering. Um, I need to look at the data really quickly in the next upcoming week to before I make my decision. But yeah, I'm I know the economy is not good for everybody, and I'm trying to make sure that everybody has sort of like access to watching our events without going through a pirated site. I think the day of the open tournament, it needs to start sooner. I think it went on too late. I think what they started the time they did was to accommodate people getting off work. So there's that. Oh, another super chat. Solo Krista Salva. What I meant is people from Poland, Sweden, Italy can get into Canada without visa. Bulgaria, like Georgie, it won't be an issue. Have a card. Camille versus Devin. Jerry versus Georgi. Michael Todd versus Hermes rematch. Shop versus Leonidas. Okay. But then I essentially have one event that I'm neglecting all the Eastern Europeans though. Hmm. But I mean, you do have a point. Typically, having setting the card, there is kind of two main sets, right? We have like the top 4 or 5 matches. Those are like the upper card, right? And then you have the lower card, and sometimes the lower card gets, like in this time, you could really tell that even our lower card, there was a lot of thought that actually came into it, right? We spent a lot of time looking into that, and it was just random names that were put together. So if we did something like this, and we have no Ukrainians, no Russians, right, in that one event, no, well, I guess potentially, let's see, maybe even no Georgians. I mean, no Kazakhstanis. That would not go very well with the community. So something to think about. Let's see. Alien Snail says, "Hey Dexter, great job bringing back the pre-match athletes interview. Mate, a lot of them hype. The background music was a little loud for future reference. Hard to hear Jerry." Yeah, that was. I mean, we didn't. It's a lot of work. Like honestly, the 4 pre-match interviews, it is a lot of work, because when you film it, you have to edit it on the fly, and you need to slot it into the program. It's a lot of work. So I know there were a couple of things that could be edited better. We'll take that into consideration, and we'll probably have to bring in a bigger team just to help out with that. So there's that. But ooh, Adam's there, and he's confirmed no stats were wrong this time. So yeah, the scorecard on top was wrong a few times. Hmm. The ref with the earring needs to remember to make hand gestures to know what it's called. Even the announcer had to ask what the previous call was. Okay, we'll take note onto that. Another super chat. I would like the EVW to have more athletes profile with current stat and even historical stats, body stats, language spoken, brief bio, and links to the social media. Fantastic point, kind sir. We are actually, hold on. Let me see if I can show you a demo. One second, of what exactly we've been working on. I mean, we are a relatively small team. Well, I mean, for the amount of work you're doing as efficiently as we can, we do have uh, we do have Let me look into it. Events. Let me see if I can I can show you guys what's happening. Results. But yeah, so we are doing things like that. Oh, shoot, it's not ready yet. Oh man, it's not ready yet. I wish it's ready. Uh, maybe next week or sometime following week. I'll show you guys what we're working on. We have a profiles for most of our athletes. So that there's that. But yeah, that's an absolutely good point. Okay, so this Adam, he was the guy over graphics, so his explanation is probably a little bit more accurate. The scorecard pictures were wrong on one match, as Dex explained. The scores were correct. Sometimes we don't see what a particular call is. When that happens, we confirm the referees now. Yeah, so it's just one match. Now it's not copying out any excuses, but we will strive to make that small error disappear. Mentioning again, so as you've seen, great job on the pre-match athletes interview. Great, I've seen it. Thank you. Having opposite color jersey was good for the scorecard. If you can put colors next to the name, if you didn't know the names, I'm not sure the pictures are good enough to see who's who. I mean, you have a point. One thing that I didn't want anymore was the division between the athletes, particularly around the time of Chicago. Starting Chicago. I know the company is called, well, I mean, the league is called East versus West, but ultimately we are one big family. And it doesn't have to be, I think the colors, it, it hurts us in two ways. One, operationally, now we have to figure out we have two sets of jerseys to order all the time. But more importantly, now it feels like, you know how Camille in was it in Zurich? He says, "Hey, are you Team East or Team West, Hermes?" And Hermes says, "No, I'm neither. I'm Team Top Roll." Right? That's even though it's a very subtle thing, but that's really the new sentiment is that we are all arm wrestlers. Well, again, when I say we, can I call myself an arm wrestler? Maybe, but we're all one big family. We're once technically we're a very small community. We have no time for any divisions, no time for gatekeeping, no time for any, sort of separation and split from one group into another. So that's why I feel we should, uh, you know, at least on the outside, to the outsiders, we are very united, which is why I'm opposed to the old jersey colors. And honestly, sometimes it didn't make sense because it was almost every event it was lopsided, right? Right. Sometimes an athlete is East, sometimes he's West. Sometimes you two Eastern guys competing with each other. Now then if you start arguing who is more West, you know, just so that we can put them on and delineate that way. But I think it's just yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Uh, Yeah, so I've seen a lot of people talking about the rankings that Michael thought it should be ranked higher than Camille, even though Camille beat Jerry. I will dig a little bit deeper and maybe report back next week. So ask me next week. But for the most part, Camille's rank did jump. Now whether it jump higher than Michael, that's to be determined. Yeah, so I'm actually flying back to Asia tomorrow, which is why I came back a little bit earlier than I normally would be. Yeah, the initial, especially the first few matches, they were a little bit too big, and I think they shrunk over time. Yeah, I do agree. We we were short by at least one guy to control that graphics component. So, but yeah, I do understand that that's something we could. What's that bruise? It's the nurse who kind of like stabbed me in it, like she missed my veins. And so then the senior nurse came over and she stabbed me on this side. It's clean. So the bruises from me throwing Dexter into a hook. Yeah, running away, we were just playing a little bit too. So, but it was so fun though. I mean, the whole weekend was so fun. I got to pull a whole bunch of very cool dudes. Lost my butt to you know, a very like a Susanna who 52 kilograms couldn't beat her. She smacked me on the left hand. Her left is so strong. Uh, yeah. Let's see. My, I mean, dude, mine. He's such a cool, chill dude, fun dude. Jason Merlo, super chill, super fun. I mean, a lot of these athletes, they're just happy to be around family, right? Just happy to be around family. Arm wrestling family. It's very different, man. If you guys have not come to an event, I've been to several events already, and every time I'm enjoying it more and more. Yeah, I mean, so Jimmy No Nuts asked me if I wrestle anybody. Well, I didn't go for the nuts because I'm nowhere close to being good. But yeah, I wrestled quite a few. I think some of them were on camera. Got my butt whooped almost every time, but it's okay. I'm still having fun. I'm still having fun. I enjoyed it. A lot of comments about uh Travis commentary. So Benji saying his style makes you pay attention to what's happening. He has a lot of emotion and a lot of energy, so I can agree with that. Travis needs to get stronger again so we can take his words more serious. Yeah, that's another thing that I would really like to see Travis being on the main stage again. It'd be pretty cool. I like Travis as a commentator. It doesn't bother me from Wonder Bucket. Uh, Deeps is saying Travis talks too much and into the ready go needs to know when to shut up. This is we had a commentary meeting. If all the commentators, Auden, Devin, Neil, Ray, and Travis. What was interesting was we kind of Travis was the one who says, "Yeah, it's actually a thing that he's kind of working on because you don't want to say too little, that is dead and boring, and you don't want to say too much either. So it's really a challenging skill set, right? And so we all recognize that this for sure is something that it's you know it's a, an art. It's a skill set that needs to be worked on. So some random question: PS5 or gaming laptop? Gaming laptop means hands down. I'm no longer a console guy. I had almost every console, but I never touched it enough. Let's see. Arm wrestling needs Travis. Interesting. Can mine beat Auden right hand? Yeah, I think mine can beat Auden right hand. Well, Adam's on it. Maybe he should have just joined me from the beginning, and so he can help me answer a lot of these questions. Especially, I'm losing my voice here. Oh, you should invite the Indonesian teenager with the massive Popeye arms, East versus West. He will be champion one day. Well, here's what I'll say. Right, we have a lot of people that look really big, but they're not very strong either. Right, I'm talking about like say bodybuilders, for instance. They look massive, but it doesn't always translate to arm wrestling as much. Now, obviously, this guy, I don't know very much about him. I haven't seen him yet in person. I haven't got enough feedback from him, so it'd be a bit challenging to figure out where he stands. But perhaps one day, maybe he'll be invited to the Singapore event that I'm working on. Uh, Dexter is very tired. He's missing some of the subtleties that he normally gets. Yeah, I mean, but again, I have to be consistent so you guys can always expect. I'm actually a little late because my flight got delayed, but I'm gonna keep ensuring that I keep having this live stream. So this is a stupid question. I'm not answering that. Um, let's see. I'm not gonna talk about a couple questions about Brian and whatnot. I'm gonna skip that. Not because I don't want to answer those, because I've already addressed them. I think 2 weeks ago. So I don't want to just rehash drama things. And also, there's so much more to talk about from 21, EVW 21. DJ puts in a lot of work into his event, but can't even make a profit with only one event per year. Maybe he should stick to picking things up instead of doing events. I'm not quite sure what's all this. Oh, is this the real Mayan? Oh, what's up, Mayan? Even I win or lose on the right to honor, it makes no difference because my right arm is half the strength of my left because of a reoccurring injury. And that's right. That is correct. That is correct. Mayan. Emmanuel Plaza says big shout out for Dexter and Baxter. Dexter and Baxter for putting these events for the sake of arm wrestling. I know this is very hard and stressing. Thank you. God bless. Thank you. Here's another question. Why aren't the after poll public for everyone with the athletes? They don't need to be behind doors. That's the fun part of arm wrestling. I think it's a few things, right? Everybody is hurting financially, but it's so does the athletes too. So this was really designed in a way where it's for a way to tip your favorite athlete. Nothing more than that. Now, if you want to say that, if we didn't have it structured this way, no athlete would show. Like, I've done several events now when we have a casual after pool. Very likely you might only see 3 EVW athletes, and one of them being Devin, right? The rest won't, because they're tired and everything, or sometimes they just came down from a high. They just want to, enjoy their win or just enjoy that it's finally over. So, but now it's like, hey guys, everybody needs to show up. Even if you're not pulling, I want you to interact with VIPs. And there were times where even we made Camille ref a match, so he knows it's not as easy to ref a match, right? Things like that. It's more a structured event than anybody can come and go as they please. And it's also another good way to allow. We gave priority to the VIPs to come in and pull some of the athletes themselves. And I think like this time, Mindaugas spent a lot of time, off camera, but he was, off the live stream. But we did record his matches with, VIPs and some other athletes, and just having a good time, just talking and training and whatnot. So that's why I think we cannot do everything for free because it still needs to be sustainable to a certain degree. So, all right, let's see this criticism. The promotion for EV21 seems subpar, and there seem to be not as many people there. I didn't see much promotion of the tournament in the AC area. How can you increase promotion in the future? This is a really good question. In terms of videos, I was looking back and checking analytics. We actually doubled the amount of videos released compared to EVW. Sorry, technically COP 13, right? So in terms of media stuff, we pushed out more. Now, why? About the size, perhaps. Typically, arm wrestling events, they're not as appealing to the non-arm wrestlers. Now, example, if it's a movie, I may not have heard of this movie before, but if the poster is interesting and it looks like, I don't know, Tom Cruise is on it. I don't care what movie it is. I didn't even see it straight up. I see the poster. I might just, go watch it if I'm free, right? But arm wrestling, I feel it's so niche that if I have a billboard about, say in this case, Camille, we have Jerry, we have Michael Todd and Georgi on it, right? I don't think this billboard is going to convert anybody to go pay money and come in and watch. You see what I'm saying? So usually what, something like arm wrestling, it's more like what I would say a destination kind of event that people would travel far and wide. They plan for things. So I think it's more that than advertising in just the local area. So, but for sure, we need to figure out. I think the biggest thing is also we need to, like, I think it was you that mentioned it, that we have to announce our dates far enough ahead of time so people can plan for it a little bit better, rather than kind of like I'm giving you 6 weeks to plan things out, right? So so there's that. And also, I you know, not that I'm not welcoming other promotions and other organizers. I think if there's a way that we can all discuss amongst each other and try to stay away from some of our dates, that would be also helpful, right? So nobody's having events stacked on top of one another. So we want to spread the love than to kind of cram everything together. Wow, there was a lot of arguments in my own chat here, so that's pretty funny. But I'm gonna skip all that and go straight to questions. Let's see. What about female commentators on the female matches and a few and a few male matches? The women have more foundation if they are watching first time. I think the only time I've seen a female commentating is Sarah Backman last year in King of Table 13. I'll think about it though. I'll think about it. I know we have a lot of strong female athletes. I myself got whooped my butt a couple of times this past weekend, pulling some of the females like INA. So I'll think about it. If you guys have any suggestion, which female commentator would be pretty good for us, let me know. Doesn't hurt. I think you know we could use a little bit of a different perspective as well, because I'm sure a female arm wrestler will understand another like say Jocelyn and Anna's match better than the men would have to understand. So I like it. I like it. Does Devon have a backup plan B match if Morozov's canceled? Yes, we do. We have been. Let me check my messages real quick to see if that has been changing. Oh, no, no, nothing yet. But yeah, we do have a backup plan, and I think people will like it. Not, I don't want to announce it yet. Well, should I announce it? Yes. So actually, it's not that big of a deal because it's not confirmed yet, right? We're not saying Morozov's match is canceled, but if if Morozov did have the intention, and he again, like I mentioned it, then we will cancel him, and we're gonna offer it to Alijan. But unfortunately, because of the circumstances, Devon is gearing up for Vitaly in April. It will be in the open weight category. But Alijan will be next in line to have a match with Devon. So there's that. Yeah, best part. This is absolutely. This is not the real Hermes, right? Hermes Gasperi. I doubt it because mods. If this is not the real Hermes, ban this guy because I don't like imposters. Because that's one of the things I don't like, is that really could confuse things. And the reason why I think this is not the real Hermes is because it did not end with my friend. Just kidding. Let's see. Oh, Hermes just messaged me. It is him. He just messaged me. It is me, my friend. Yeah, this is funny. I put comment. Okay, so it is legitimate him. Don't ban his account. It's really him. Hermes is good. How are you still awake? I mean, it's the love of arm wrestling, honestly. You know, I had people ask me this weekend. It says, "Hey, you obviously don't have to do this. Why are you doing it? You have so many other businesses and work." But I'm just telling you, I actually genuinely love arm wrestling. If something happens tomorrow, right? You know, we got bought out, whatever, right? I can tell you for a fact. I can tell you for a fact. I will still be arm wrestling. Matter of fact, I think I'll be arm wrestling for more because I have more time now. I also set up a new YouTube channel account that is strictly going to be only arm wrestling instead of trying to start modeling things. But I really do enjoy arm wrestling. Uh, just something I could see myself doing for the next 30 years of my life. Super chat: Schoolboy versus Corey West on left. What do you guys think of this Schoolboy versus Corey West on left? I'll bring him to the upper management. Well, technically the matchmakers too. Oh, Mayan also just messaged me. He says, "Make sure I'm not banned because I forgot I have a number." No, you're fine. Maybe I should invite all you guys to join me. You guys wanna come in here? Let me invite you guys. You guys wanna? If you guys jump in, you jump in. Not, it's fine. Not Jody commentating. Not Rebecca. Oh, dude, you guys are nuts. Let's see. Where do the rules say you must stay at the table to do a protest? Seems you skipped my question earlier. Okay, so apologize. We we in our training, sorry, in our rules meeting, this has always been the case for even like WAF, right? Now I know we don't have to follow exactly like WAF, but it's always been the case. You have to stay at the table because once you leave, you lose your opportunity to protest. That has always been the case for WAF. We didn't feel like we had to change that rule necessarily, uh, because what we didn't want is to sorry, what we didn't want is that we allow some athlete to leave the table, starts looking up on the replay screen or going to check the ref screen, and right, and then make the protest, and it drags everything out. You see what I'm saying? And so, in the interest of time, they have to make that call while they're at the table. So there's that. I don't know what is this. Let's see. How can the online arm wrestling community recover after the last few years of complete destruction? So many groups have been banned, reported, and now the online hype is virtually non-existent. Hey, I when we took over, we unbanned everybody. I literally unbanned everybody from my YouTube channel, from my Instagram channel. So let's rise and grow again. Norman says he can't because his girlfriend is asleep and it's very late in Italy, but he's gonna come to Vienna to support us. So and Mayan is actually on a flight right now. It's funny. He's on a plane watching this. This is funny. Why my channel only has 2.6K subscribers? It deserves more. I don't know. I'm not chasing, subscriber counts or anything. I'm just here to answer questions, and I know people usually will cut and paste and clip my videos and share that message. I think that's the most important thing, right? Knowing that there's a place that they can always get answers every week. That's all. Let's see. Yeah, I know everybody's calling for Morozov's hit. I said, give us. This just barely happened within the this today. We are doing a thorough investigation to make sure that that's not what he meant. If that's really what he meant, I mean, I'm really almost inclined to get him out, but we'll give him. We'll go through a due process to make sure that's exactly what that is. So yeah, I know. There's so many messages asking me to be kicked off, but we will get there. Devin and David Dadigan is best match. I mean, he's no slouch, man. Yeah, Devin. I mean, that's a pretty good match. That is a. I, assu- I assume it's left. Morozov asked for the match. What is the best way to contact Mayan? Well, me is on this chat, so you can go reach out to him. Yes, Benji, thanks. It's still not too late to buy the pay-per-view. Oh, you miss all the action. Why not? I no. That's a good question, J.R. Williams. Why not include the practice pool with annual subscription? I'm going to think a little bit more about that, and I'll get back to you. Alijan won't pull Devin at supers. No, that's not what uh, we haven't offered it. What I'm saying is that if we do cancel Morozov or uninvite Morozov, then we will extend this invitation to Alijan instead to replace him. So there's that. Not being able to challenge after leaving the table is terrible. Leaving the table is a natural instinct of the arm wrestlers. The corner is often the one who will notice something, and that's not correct though. I mean, people who have pulled for a really long time, no, it's not. It's a very common thing that if they want to protest, even at the WAF roles, they have to stay at the table. So it is a very common thing. When we will see Muratov versus Lara, well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Right now, Morozov is the current person that was invited, not Alijan. But think, wait. Which is well, it's still a horse shit rule. Well, I mean, right now when we do a promotion, it's kind of like it's kind of like a balance between speed, right? You don't want the event to go too long, neither do you want your event to go too fast. I feel that's my opinion. Okay? Think about it. If I want to go if I want the event to go really fast, then it's no walkout, get to the table, pull, no interview, just get out as soon as you're done, right? Like a tournament style. But we kind of lose the whole vibe. You lose the whole sort of storyline. You know, you lose a lot of aspects that I think it's important to help like shape one's character, right? So that's why I think it's a balance. You don't want the event to go too long, and if you have the ability to, you know, now as I mentioned, protest, 2 minutes later, then now, I mean, operationally, it's also a big headache. Now we have to go back and figure out which video and which camera to cut to and everything. I think it's also very unfair because it becomes like a treasure hunting kind of deal where you're always hunting and like exploring how you can protest, right? And then you're backtracking and everything, and it would just slow down the whole thing unnecessarily too long. In my opinion, staying at the table is not that difficult. You can always yell at the cornerman to toss and throw in the protest flag. Doesn't you don't have to wait. Uh, you know, you don't have to wait 30 seconds. Well, I mean, so Dinklage is change the rules of 30 seconds to challenge. Not you can't leave the table. You see the point if you see the way that we do a stream, as soon as the athletes leave the table, it's only when the operators know when to cue in the replay. Because so as long as they're staying at the table, the operators won't turn on the replays, right? Because once they leave the table and they can look up on the screen or some of their family members or coaches, not just the tournament, but they're up, they're sitting down and they can watch the replay. They will tell them, okay, now you go, you know, go go protest, right? It's one of those where you that's not how you want to run things, and it's very very confusing if it's a 30-second rule. Just just so you know. Somebody's asking me what should I watch tonight, movie or a show? What would you recommend? I said absolutely. If you haven't if you haven't seen EV21, go to live.evwsports.com, buy the pay-per-view, and watch that instead. I know I'm not the only one noticing how Devin is trying to climb the left arm ranking in his favor without actually having a rematch with Camille or facing Dalikan. Devin never called out Morozov. Trying to think how much I can share. Uh, Technically, Devin may be that Devin is good to pull Camille. I think he has mentioned pulling Camille before. It's one of the things that he has mentioned that since he's lost, several years back, it's something that he wants to kind of clean up, essentially. So we will we will set that up some one way or the other at some point. We will set it up one way or the other. I'm not sure what this question is. Fort Gullen says, "What was the review for Jocelyn versus Anna? Seems like they went to the screens when nobody else prompted it." I can't remember. I'll have to come back to you. I'm a little bit foggy on this one. Apologize. Arthur's and Mindaga's rematch. I spoke to Mindaga's. I says the one thing that's eluding you from being like a top superstar is you're not a world champion. And he said he understands it, and he says he's gonna do whatever he can to correct that. Arthur is no slouch. I know he has several matches, with other people, and so we'll give him some time. But I think for sure, Mindaugas has earned his right for a rematch. for the world title shot. So pretty excited for that. I think he'll be up there. Will we see Dexter compete at any tournaments this year? Potentially, but it's just not arm wrestling. I'm not quite there yet. Lots of great question, but I'm gonna end this because it's beyond 90 minutes that I usually try to target. I love you all, guys. I'm not feeling well, so I'll be back next Sunday. But meanwhile, stay strong and keep pulling. Thanks, guys.